Everyone is in their seats here at the Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles as the Los Angeles Lakers look to grab a win on the home floor. Well, it was the Golden State Warriors winning their last game again.
And after that game, it was impressive to look at the box score and see the work they did at the free throw line.
And not only what they did in making them, but what they did to get to the line. I mean, they were constantly in attack mode. In the lane and drawing fouls.
To the paint, stolen by Thompson. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. And Golden State looking at who they've got. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson. They're in the backcourt. The defensive stalwarts, Green and Bogut, are down low. And it's Barnes in at the small forward position.
And guys, you talk about ascendant stars in the NBA, none brighter than Steph Curry, the leading vote getter for the All-Star game a season ago. But what I love, he doesn't let it go to his head. I mean, he remains grounded and focused on winning.
Now let's send it down to Doris Burke, who is able to talk with Byron Scott.
Kevin, he's adamant that they'll need a huge effort from their big men to avoid losing all 4 games in this season series. He said our bigs can make an impact in the paint and provide that deterrent with their shot blocking. But it's also incumbent on all our players to dig in defensively and show what we're all about. Kevin, we'll see if they can gut this one out.
Thanks, Doris. And as Doris provided the details, guys, the way they plan to attack defensively will be key early on, won't it?
Absolutely. And if that's the strategy, they've got to be full of energy, full intensity right off the bat.
And that's a real pillar to any successful defense when you talk about intensity. I mean, you can't go half-heartedly or halfway.
Here's Randall. Andrew Bogut making his last shot. Here's Williams. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. And it goes on Draymond Green. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Warriors.
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
And the first one at the line is good.
And a lot of teams are looking for coaches that embrace analytics and look at data-driven approaches. Coach Scott is not one of those guys. He's an old-school coach who goes with his own perception.
And Williams drops them both. And former Coach of the Year Byron Scott now with the Lakers. And as you said, Greg, he's not an analytics guy. And Clark, I think he's a guy that the eye test for him is huge.
Yeah, he feels a lot. Terrific communicator and storyteller. Great experience as a player and as a champion. And I think that all is evident in his coaching style.
Hibbert with the screen. And it's Bryant in the corner. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Williams. Bryant's got his first points of the night. Warriors have gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. Barnes against Bryant. Barnes can't get it to go.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Here's Clarkson. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
That is really poor defensive awareness. I mean, he's one guy you don't want to give any space to. You've got to stay attached and connected.
Now, here's Bogut, who's averaging around 5.5 points a game. And Curry has it in the corner. Hands it from downtown. Curry's got 8.
And a really good way to start the game. He's a guy who, if he gets it going early, he's going to give you problems.
Nice ball movement here by the Lakers. Hibbert with a screen for Bryant. Inside, shoots a fader. That's short off the rim.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Green with the ball. Out defended by Randall. And there's the defensive 3-second call. The Warriors shooting their first free throw of the evening.
One shot. One shot.
And Steph Curry, 6'3" and about 195. I mean, a slender frame. You look back to high school and college, and that was one of the question marks. Did he have the strength to succeed?
Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. Robert Sacre, he's checked in for Hibbert. Bass comes in for Julius Randle. Nick Young's checked in for Kobe. And it's Russell in for Jordan Clarkson. Offensive rebound. And Young kicks to Sacre. Williams attacking. Pass to Bass. Over rush. And the baseline jumper, no good. And speaking of Curry's slight build, he's worked up and bulked himself up. He's added some muscle. He even got up to 200 pounds, I think he said. But he didn't feel real good, Clark, at that weight.
Yeah, it's not about the weight, Kevin. It's about strength. You need it to fight through screens and attack the rim, and he's clearly put on the strength he needs to play at his highest level.
And the Lakers with possession here. Following the score by Golden State. The drive by Russell. And the layup's good off the glass. Russell's got his first points of the game.
My goodness, since when does he score off the crossover? Now I've truly seen it all.
Iguodala against Williams. And stolen by Russell. He dishes it to Bass. Bass, a screen on Iguodala. Spates with the block. Moving it up. And Iguodala with the basket, the assist by Curry. Iguodala's got his first 2 points of the night.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
Last season, Draymond Green taking over the starting power forward role in Golden State. Last season, David Lee was injured, remember, in preseason. Green was inserted, and he's been terrific ever since.
Absolutely superb. A former second-round pick, his emergence has fueled this team's rise to greatness.
And the Warriors making a change here. Livingston's checked in. .112 left in the first quarter. And Bass kicks to Young. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession. And now let's highlight the highest scoring teams in the NBA. The Warriors, number 1.
Kevin, if there's any stat you want to lead the league in, it would certainly be scoring the most points. They've been remarkable in the numbers they've put up as a team all season long. It's a reflection of their strength. They're balanced and they're explosive.
Now here's Green. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Here's Livingston. And he makes good on the layup.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Quality looks they're getting, and they're capitalizing on them, guys. They have to be happy with this start offensively.
And Bass kicks to Young. Good on the three-point shot. Young's got his first 3 points of the game.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Sacre, good.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see them operating a lot of their offense from the interior today.
Now here's Green. His scoring has been there on a regular basis. He's averaging more than 14 points a game. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Green with the block. Now the Warriors moving it up. Green leading the charge.
Clearly, they've been the hotter team here in the first half.
Well, they've been grit and grind. working for those high percentage shots, and quite honestly, it's paid off for him.
The offense coming free and easy as we wrap up the first quarter. Warriors lead by 8. Live from the Staples Center, you're watching 2K Sports. And Steph Curry, a player within the gym range, he told us about his comfort stretching the floor.
Anywhere 5-6 feet outside that three-point line, if I have a dribble, if I catch and shoot, if I have a good look, I think Coach will allow me to take that shot, and it's tough to guard, especially when you see a couple go in. That basket gets a lot bigger.
I was going to say, Greg, how big must that hoop look to Steph Curry? And tough to guard might be the understatement of the day.
I mean, he is just an insanely great shooter. I mean, arguably, I don't think there's an argument. He's the best shooter in the world. The argument is whether or not he's the best shooter ever. And listen, I can imagine there's very few times that Coach Curry is not going to allow this splash brother to let her rip.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And from what we've seen so far from the Warriors, how would you grade them?
They came out with the purpose of playing for one another, making the extra pass throughout that first quarter.
Guys, that is simply just good basketball. I mean, really good basketball. Total team effort out there.
So on the floor for Golden State to begin the second quarter. Iguodala, the 3 with Barnes, the stretch 4. Livingston and Thompson are the guards, and it's Bogut in at the 5 spot. Hibbert with the screen. Here's Russell, and the whistle blows. It's going to be on Andre Iguodala. That's his first foul.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. I mean, the defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
The Warriors making a switch here. Curry's checked in. The drive by Russell. And that one's good. Russell's got his second basket of the night.
Couldn't run the inbound play any better than right there.
Curry passes to Barnes. On the wing, Iguodala. Back to Barnes. Passes it to Curry. From outside, off the mark. Lakers trail by 6. Works and dishes to Bryant. And then Hibbert with the dunk.
And that's an example of willpower right there, guys. I mean, grabbing the offensive rebound and then going back up strong.
And GA, in a close game like this where every possession is critical, that could prove to be a very big one.
Boy, it sure could, Kevin. I mean, he salvaged 2 big points for them off that miss.
Here's Curry. Scored the basket. His 4th. He's only missed 1 of his 5 shots tonight.
I mean, he was great in his last game, Clark, and clearly he has not lost that love and feeling.
Russell with a wide open look. Off target from 3-point range. Warriors leading by 6. Barnes kicks to Curry. Feeds to Thompson. Jacks up a 3. Bryant with the rebound. And for Kobe Bryant, how difficult was last season? Starting out strong, even though the team, Greg, around him wasn't very good. But then everything, including Bryant, fell to pieces.
And when you're a competitor, the way this guy is a competitor, you can't stand to lose. So you push your body to the limit to avoid that. But what happens at age 36 when you've got the kind of miles that Kobe Bryant has, you know, you just can't go it alone. That's why Kobe lasted only 35 games.
Outside for Curry. Bogut trying to get open, but he gets it back. Offensive rebound. Curry passes to Iguodala. Stolen by Clarkson. And it's Russell at the elbow. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for 1 more.
Sounds good. You know, you go back to Kobe Bryant. He pushed himself so hard last season, though his points per game average was up. Field goal percentage was the worst of his career. He just felt he had a better chance to score than anyone else on the team. And it's real hard to argue that he was wrong about that.
Nick Young's checked in for the Lakers. And then for Golden State, Green, he's checked in for Iguodala. And it's Barbosa in for Klay Thompson.
And guys, you know Kobe Bryant, words can't describe what he's meant to his team really to the league in the game of basketball. You just wonder when he's finally going to say, you know what? I've done all I can do. That's enough. Retirement's been hinted at, but until I see it, knowing how competitive Kobe is, I just won't believe it.
Russell dishes to Randall, outside for Kobe. And the Lakers get it back. Hibbert, off the left rim and out. Warriors leading by 3. Outside Curry. The dish to Bogut. Back to Curry. Three-pointer. It falls for his 5th field goal of the night. Now shooting 5 for 8.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of it.
Kobe kicks to Hibbert. Right side Russell. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Hey, and while we've got a chance, let's check out the stats for Bryant. He's right around 17 points a night, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. And he's been putting up points with regularity. I mean, that's what they depend on, his killer instinct on offense.
Yeah, and anytime this club needs a bucket, he's their go-to. Just irrepressible and a prolific scorer.
Free throw good, Russell. And Los Angeles with some changes. Robert Sacre, he's checked in for Hibbert. Bass comes in for Randall. And it's Williams in for Bryant. And then for Golden State, Spates checked in for Bogut. Rush comes in for Harrison Barnes. And it's Livingston in for Curry. And so Russell hits them both.
You know, he didn't get to the line in that entire first quarter. But right now, he's showing some aggressiveness out there.
Here is Livingston. He's guarded by Russell. Green, the pass to Livingston. They kick it out to Green. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
You know, the Warriors took some flack when they passed on the chance to trade for Kevin Love, but I really think that the rise of Draymond Green as their stretch 4-man made the decision even better and also kept their cap situation far more flexible.
And Draymond Green won't give you the superstar numbers of a Kevin Love, but he's got a deceptive impact, Clark, at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I call him a value utility guy because he does a little bit of everything that brings value to your quest to win. His shooting has steadily gotten better, and while he's not an all-star yet, the sum of his total contributions on the floor, impressive.
Now, here is Russell. He's tightly guarded, and they double up Russell. Bass with it. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Clock at 4. Got a piece of it. And it's the Lakers on the break. Williams can't hit. Last game for the Lakers, it was a loss to the Cavaliers in Cleveland.
And on an ordinary night, guys, I think they would have come out on top. That's just how well they played, but they happened to catch an opposing team at the very top of their game.
I'd venture to guess, Greg, that if that game was played in their building instead of on the road, they win it.
That's good from Rush.
Well, you know, last season, Steve Kerr came into a good situation, but a touch awkward. The team wasn't 100% on board with the firing of the previous coach, but he won them over in a hurry.
Greg, Steve Kerr did win over the locker room in a hurry last season. They had finished a successful run under Mark Jackson. Winning accelerates everything. They certainly bought into it.
They really did, and people don't often appreciate how difficult it is to come into a situation where expectations are that high. But he also went out of his way to empower his players and really give them some accountability. Didn't try to hide anyone on defense and played to the strengths of his team on the offensive end. And Maurice Spates last season with the best year of his career. I mean, he shot the cover off the ball and did a nice job on the boards as well.
That free throw, no good. Rick, you were just talking about Mo Spates. Clark, he has a great mid-range jump shot.
He does, and they actually call him Mo Buckets. But he actually played so well last season, they even threw in Mo VP from time to time.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
Boy, it certainly appears to be the case, Greg. I mean, they've spent a lot of time at the foul line this quarter, and that's the result of attacking the rim and being physical.
And with the time left, they still can go 2 for 1.
Boy, they've got to do it fast. They must hurry from here.
Green. And again, it's the Warriors missing. Lakers trail by 3 at the elbow. Williams. And his third shot of the night, no good, 0 for 3. 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. The feed to Barbosa. Back to Green. Over to the left wing. 5 to shoot. Golden State needs to get off a shot. No good from Spates.
The defense needs to play tight on him, and that's exactly what they did to force that miss. Well done.
And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. Warriors ahead. They're up by 3. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We're going to break down the first half action for you. The first half was all about Stephen Curry. He had 14 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. Taking a look at the Warriors, Kenny, what'd you think?
Well, their passing was impressive. They're in a good position to win this game, in large part because of those assists. And this is the thing. You win as a team in this league. You have to share the basketball to succeed. And if they carry that level of unselfishness in the second half, they're going to be tough to beat.
Shaq, your take on the Lakers.
Well, how about that contribution they got from the bench? Nice. Those are some much-needed points, and it keeps them right in the game. I wouldn't be surprised to see them dig a little deeper into that bench. Some games you just got to go with the lineups that are working and just improvise, Ernie.
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report as it's just about time for the start of the third quarter.